Now, before I start about the transfer tittle-tattle and the transfer roundup, there's a lot of transfer stuff, isn't there, really, at the moment? I know half of you don't believe it anyway. I've seen a tweet. It's tickled me. One of the few reasons, there are a few funny accounts on Twitter, and this is one of the reasons to go on there. West Ham Social. It's a good account. We've got to do this one in a Scottish accent, by the way, which is why the glasses are on. Because I've got to read, not because you need to put glasses on to do a Scottish accent. That would just be ridiculous. Anyway. Breaking news. West Ham have completed the £17.5 million signing of Scottish international centre-back Danny Exist, securing just in time for the weekend's game against Nottingham Forest. Danny Exist, because he doesn't exist. I like that. Just in case you're... just in case you're slightly confused and you didn't get the joke, which is a very good joke. I'm sure you all did. We haven't really signed a centre-back in time for Nottingham Forest. In fact, we haven't even signed a centre-back in time for the game that follows Nottingham Forest or the game after. We're a bit light on centre-backs. We have been chasing a few. We're going to discuss them in this video, by the way. I don't know. It's been a bit weird. I thought there was urgency needed this week, which is why I've done a couple of sort of urgent type videos. But nothing has happened yet. Clearly, we're gonna leave it until the very, very last minute when nobody can afford to sell their players, and then we're gonna try and get some in. I don't know. Anyway, that's nothing to do with Nottingham Forest game. I think we'll win it, as hopefully you'll know if you watched the preview that myself and Gio did. In fact, if you did watch that preview, you'll have seen Gio's fantasy football team. He showed you his. Now I'm going to show you mine. I'm going to pop it up there on the screen if my editing's any good. There you go. I've got nuclear on the front. The front three, I've got nuclear. I'm just gaining points here. To play this game, you need to download the Spitch app. They're sponsoring this video. Good guys at Spitch, by the way. Do download the link below. You've got to be 18 and above to play this game, because it's a gambling app. This is free to play, this, by the way, because we've got a little Hammers Chat mini league. Got quite a few sign-ups, so thank you very much for the people that have signed up. I've gone Pickford because, I think they look a bit tight at the back, to be fair. We tried to get one of their centre-backs as well, West Ham did. Tarkowski in there for the same reason. Anderson, to be fair, it could go either way for Crystal Palace. They're playing Liverpool, weren't they? But I really liked it. I thought he had really good distribution, Anderson. I thought he was a good player. Johnson, I think he's going to play because doesn't he have any centre-backs? Havertz. Yeah, good player. I really like him. Gibbs White, wouldn't mind West Ham signing him. So he's in the team. A bit of a Crystal Palace love in on this one. It has to be said. He's playing in Conor Gallagher's position. And there you go, sort of a link into yesterday's video. Gundogan, I thought he was good against us. I really did. Haaland, obviously, is my captain. Jesus and Nunes. Look. I'm going for it. I am absolutely going for it with this team here. Anyway, if you want to join in, download Spitch. The link's in the description below. The app itself is free. And even if you just play the free games, you can win lots and lots of prizes. But if you want to bet on it, and you can enter sort of £5 stake games, and you can win really, really big money on it. Entirely up to you. But thanks to everybody that signed up to that already. This is my team. This is this week's team. I'll change it again. They wouldn't let me have Saka as a forward, whereas I was allowed him last week. Sneaky. Oh, sorry, no, midfielder. He's a forward now. He was a midfielder last week. Sort of snuck in under the radar. There we go. Anyway, let's jump straight on to a little bit of transfer gossip. West Ham submit mega money offer for Barcelona star. According to reports, West Ham submitted an offer for Barcelona star Memphis Depay. 28-year-old, we've offered him a lucrative deal. Now, the Barcelona thing is really funny. They cannot wait to get people out that door. They really can't. They're not paying people's wages. I think fans are waiting outside the car park to sort of attack players, or I don't know, throw rotten vegetables at their cars or something like that, just because they won't take a pay cut. Now, Barcelona don't need the players to take a pay cut. It's just Barcelona want to buy more players. They can't afford to. So they're basically saying to the players they got, just take a pay cut. We won't pay you your wages. And when the players turn around and say, actually, we quite like our wages if you don't mind, they get pelted with rotten vegetables. There you go. Classy. Really, really classy. So it wouldn't surprise me if Barcelona wanted rid of Memphis Depay. I just find this one a little bit hard to believe. Really skillful player, quality player, full of flair, full of tricks, really good shot on him. adaptable, isn't he? I mean, he played at Man U, didn't quite work out for him there. That's not a reflection on him, by the way. It doesn't work out for a lot of people at Man United, doesn't it? And fair play to Gonzo Senior. I do remember him last year saying, I'm not sure about this Ten Hag. The Dutch managers don't tend to work out for very long over here. We'll see where it goes. Obviously, they've only played one game. We'll get him back on soon, by the way. The thing with this one, Depay, does he pass Moyes' MOT test? I've got to be honest with you here. That's that word again, I've got to be honest with you. I do wonder about this MOT test at the moment. We're getting so desperate. Do we ditch the MOT test? Do we just basically forget the MOT? We don't need a motor with an MOT. We'll take the rusty old banger where the fan don't work and it's leaking oil and all the rest of it. We'll absolutely take it. I don't know which player that is. Be interested to know which player is the rusty old banger that we could sign that's got an oil leak and bald tyres. Who knows? I'd like to sign Memphis Depay. I just can't see it. But I do believe we will sign another attacking player. I don't think Cornet is it. I'm not talking about Skamaka here. Because Vlasic has gone, Vlasic has left, that does free up another space for an attacking midfielder. So as far as I would understand it, because of the Onana money, we're probably due a central midfielder. We're due another attacker. It might be a winger, might be an attacking midfielder. Whatever, maybe someone versatile. Versatile player would be a good thing. Left back and a centre back. So I'm counting 4 players that we need to sign. There we go. Anyway, here's a defender. His name is Kehrer. Kehrer. Now, I did check. We got a Patreon WhatsApp group, like a Patreon Addicts WhatsApp group, and I did post in there this morning and say, could anybody tell me how to pronounce this bloke's name? Tilo Kehrer. I think I've nailed it. I think I might have done, but I can't claim credit. I'm speaking like I'm chuffed, like I've sussed it out. I didn't. I had to get advice on that. Right, he plays for Paris Saint-Germain. German international, last year of his contract, and they reckon about 16 million quid. Does he want to come? I don't know. Apparently they're saying he doesn't want to come when he wants to go to a Champions League club. Well, they're going to run out of Champions League clubs, aren't they, these players? I guess not. There's loads of them, aren't there? And so this is why that game against Brighton was very, very important. It might not have been Champions League, but, you know, mate, we didn't do our bit. Crystal Palace did their bit, didn't they? Last game of the season with Man U. We didn't do our bit by beating Brighton. Anyway, this is going to be interesting with this. I've had a little look. I've had a sneaky peek. I didn't know anything about him before. I watched his video, and it said Kehrer, skills and unbelievable skills and techers. That's the video I went to watch. I've got to say there wasn't any unbelievable skills and techers. There were a lot of interceptions. There were a lot of tackles, and there was a lot of defending. But there was no unbelievable skill and techers. And I had to sit through, I think the first 60 seconds was just sort of grainy footage with no skills or anything at all. It was just really close-up pictures to trance music. So, which is not a way I would normally spend my time. Anyway, eventually got to the video. Didn't see any skills. Didn't see any techers. Not saying he's a bad player, by the way. Apparently, we, as I said yesterday, we did bid for Michael Keane. But funny enough, we were keen, but Everton weren't. I said that yesterday, didn't I? Vlasic is off. I'll tell you what I did want to say, actually. Just before no, actually, let me do this first. Apparently, we are looking at, and I don't know how true this is. It really can't be. It says here. Let me just read it to you. West Ham was set to bid 20 million for young Leicester star with Arthur Masuaku having departed for Besiktas. According to the Daily Express, who believe the Leicester star. Which Leicester star? It's got to be Thomas, hasn't it? It's got to be Thomas. I think it is Thomas. 20 million, I'm not so sure. Would be really, really interesting to see if that's the case here. I don't know. Let's just see if that plays out. I think Pereira's injured again for Leicester. I don't know. I think they're having a bad season. I really do. Not my own. Right, this I did want to discuss though. So they built a wall. Some of you won't know this, okay? So at the game against Man City, and I can't say that I noticed it, but I've seen there's been massive fallout on social media afterwards. they built a wall between the away fans and the home fans in the London Stadium. They basically can't see each other. The ones that are close to one another can't see each other. Obviously, you can see the away fans from the other side of the stadium, but they've built a wall way above head height. There's been a massive backlash. I just really wanted to say this because there's a lot of people watching these videos who don't go to the games. I want you to know this stuff, really. It's not been the only backlash. There's a lot of bad feeling about that. Well, it's not just, I'm just saying, it's not in and around social media, about people that go. It's part of the camaraderie of going to football. Very rarely does it ever turn nasty. I mean, okay, yeah, I think you had the European game last season where it was got a little bit silly, but these things are normally very, very easily dealt with. And to build a wall there, I think does show a massive disconnect between the stadium operations and the fans. Another thing that's a massive disconnect between the stadium operations and the fans was that the beer was $7.60 a pint in the stadium. I think that was the Moretti. I think that the cheaper beer might have been £7.30. And it's gone down like a lead balloon. I think a can of Coke was over £4. A guy actually came up to me we went into the shop, into the club store. Didn't know him, never met him before. Someone that watches the videos came up to me, said, "Hello, mate." He said, "Have you seen inside there?" He said, "I went and try and get me my daughter an little orange juice, and it was £4. And I mean, it's been absolute uproar. And I've got to stress, this is not the club. It's a catering company called Delaware North. And Delaware North have been at pains to say, "Oh, it's not us, we can't do anything about it, it's the stadium." But Delaware North run the catering at Wembley Stadium. And I went to Wembley Stadium, I say recently, it's probably not recent anymore, to watch Anthony Joshua against Povetkin. And I was there with my mate Wayne, and we watched all the preliminary fights, all the early fights, and the beer was £7.50. £7.50 all night long. Just before the Anthony Joshua fight, just before the main bout, I said to Wayne, "Should we go and get a couple of beers now to sort of see us through?" Because unlike football, you can take the beer to your seats. Let's go and get 2 beers each and we go to see us through the fight. We went up there and I said, "Oh, so we'll have 2 for Wayne, 2 for me. We'll have 4 beers, please." It says £48. What? What do you mean £48? In the end, we didn't bother. We actually had some water. We didn't even bother getting the beer. But just before the fight, I said, "But it's been sort of like £7.50 all night." They said, "Yeah." They basically put the price up right before the main event. So for Delaware North to be claiming, and that's just my experience of it. I may have that slightly wrong, but I ain't got that majorly wrong. I'll tell you that now. For them to be saying that they're laying it at the feet of the stadium. Listen, I think the stadium got it wrong by building that wall. But something's got to be sorted out for that catering. It really does. I mean, on the boats, on the Hammers Chat boats, it's £5.50 a pint. For San Miguel, which is very similar to Moretti, as you know. I understand. I just think at a time when there's a cost of living crisis, when energy bills are going through the roof, when inflation's up and all the rest of it, when it's hard enough to attend football anyway, to make something as prohibitively expensive as that is terrible. And if you've got your child here as well, they're going to have to go first. I'm joking, all right? I mean, they want the pack of sweets, they want the pack of crisps. I wouldn't even like to guess what the price for a pack of crisps is in there. It would be absolutely ridiculous. But it ain't cool. It's really, really not. So I just wanted you guys to know that don't attend the games. That wasn't particularly great experience going there the other day, and that's before we even get onto the football. Anyway, started off on a happy note with old Danny Exist, and then we finished on a frugal and a note about finances and about inflation. So tune in tomorrow where we will be discussing the FTSE index. We won't really. I don't know what that means. Got nothing to do with feet, apparently. The FTSE index.